Okay, so you know how in Pokemon almost every single species follows the same fixed evolution line? Bulbasaur becomes Ivysaur, becomes Venusaur, full stop, that's your lot. The weird one, the exception, and the one everyone has a slightly irrational attachment to is Eevee. Because Eevee can become 8 completely different things, and you get to decide what it turns into. Now imagine a game where every single creature is an Eevee, and it's also a shooter. That is Voidling Bound. And I have been thinking about it constantly, and I need someone to talk to about it, so please stay with me. Right, so this is made by Hatchery Games, a small indie studio out of Quebec City. And the team are mostly ex-Skylander developers. Some of them also worked on Borderlands 3 and Call of Duty, which tells you a lot about why the whole thing works and feels the way it does. It's chunky and saturated and cartoonishly alive. Like, the moment you put this game up, you go, oh, these people have done this before. On the surface, it looks like a game about shooting things in space. And it is, but that's not generally what it is about. What it's actually about is this. You find an egg, you hatch it, you make a series of choices about what this creature becomes, and then you send it out to do your bidding and feel weirdly proud of it, like a parent. That's it. That's the whole emotional experience of this game. And I fell for it completely. So let me explain how the creature system actually works, because honestly, this is what's gonna decide whether this game is for you. Every Voidling you hatch starts bare bones, you know, small, undefined, a bit unfinished looking. Like when you get a rescue dog and they're a bit thin and there's fur coming in, and you look at it and think, there's something here, I just don't know what it is yet. And as you level it up, you hit these forks in a branching evolution tree, right? The first big one assigns an elemental type. Fire, cryo, electro, nature, and a few others. Then every choice after that shapes what that element actually does in a fight. Do you want your electric Voidling shooting bouncing projectiles that ricochet off multiple enemies? Or do you want one massive single target burst? You decide, and you're gonna keep deciding over time. Here's what got me though. Those choices do not just change the gameplay, they change how the creature looks. Every fork adds something visual. New limbs, feathers, more detailed eyes, armor plating. By the time you've made all your choices, you have this fully designed creature. And you designed it, not by dragging sliders in a character creator, but just by playing the game and making decisions. Just to give you an example, these two started from the same exact egg. There are 62 species across all the branching paths, and I have not seen all of them, but I absolutely intend to get there at some point. Every single person who reviews this game is gonna mention Spore, including me right now, because the creature creator energy is extremely present, and honestly, the visual aesthetic is genuinely similar. But here's my honest memory of Spore, and I think a lot of people share this. I spent about 3 hours on the creature creator, built something that I was really pleased with, and then the actual game started, and I immediately stopped caring. Like, the creature creator was the whole thing for me. Everything that came after it felt like you belonged to a different, worse game that I did not ask for. Voidling Bound does not have this problem, like, at all. The creature system and the third-person shooter are generally load-bearing walls for each other. You can't have one without the other making sense. The thing you build is the thing you fight with, and the way it fights, it's a direct consequence of every choice you make. The loop is simple. You go out, cleanse the planet area, find eggs, bring them back to the ship, hatch them, evolve them, and go back out. And your hub, which has a hatchery, a training station, a breeding station, and much more, just everything feeds back into itself in a way that just keeps you moving. For me, the exploration missions are where the game is most fully itself. You drop into a planet zone, you cleanse the sections of this purple goo, you scavenge collectibles that are shaped like an alien flora rather than treasure chests, because of course a creature wouldn't find a wooden chest with a gold lock interesting. That makes no sense. And you fight a boss, right? So it's genuinely enjoyable in a low stakes way that I found really hard to stop. There are also weight-based arena missions that they're fine, but they're not why I kept coming back to the game. By the way, there's a difficulty screen you can pull up at any point of the game, which I really appreciate. You can set it to easy and breeze through the whole thing if that's what you need from a game right now. You can also put it super hard. I chose the second difficulty because I thought I'd be fine. Guys, I'm not fine. The early missions lull you into a completely false sense of security because everything looks manageable, you're clearing content, it's lovely. And then the elemental weaknesses start mattering and the level gaps start mattering. And if you haven't been rotating your roster and keeping the eggs hatching and actually thinking about which creatures to bring into each mission, you will be humiliated quickly in front of robots. This game rewards you for treating it like a strategy problem. Think about your roster, match the creature types to mission parameters, and do not bring a melee build to a range encounter, which I did once. There was a floating objective over a lava pit that I had absolutely no way to reach with a melee, so I just had to keep jumping into the lava pit until I managed to hit it over and over. That was bad. That was my fault, but also a little bit not my fault. Of course, the shooting feels the way it should, and you can feel the Borderlands DNA in how movement and combat sit together, and hatching an egg has this animation that is just physically satisfying in a way I can't fully explain. It makes you want to immediately hatch another one. I mean, it's designed by people who spent years making loot chests feel good to open. And then sometimes, if you actually explore properly and if you go looking to these places that require a little bit of lateral thinking, you will find a golden egg. And what hatches out of the golden egg is a fully evolved creature, which feels great. There are two things I need to say. The story is doing its absolute best, but the characters don't have voices. Like, there is no voice acting at all. And they don't have strong enough personalities on the page to compensate for that. It's a gameplay first game and it knows it. If you need a narrative reason to care about what's happening in this world, Voidling Bound is not gonna give you one. The other thing is that the maps broke for me more than once, and this one actually annoyed me because exploration is rewarded so consistently throughout the game that when you push into a corner looking for a hidden egg and instead you clip out of bounds and die, you feel genuinely betrayed. You were doing the right thing, you were being a thorough good player, and you got punished for it. These, of course, are polish issues, and these polish issues can get patched. I'm saying them out loud because a game this sure of itself deserves criticism that matches that confidence. Voidling Bound is Hatchery Games' debut, and it's not a small or cautious one. The evolution system is the most genuinely interesting take on creature customization I've seen since Spore Creature Creator. And that is real, actual high praise, even accounting for the fact that I cannot tell you a single thing that happened after the creature creator in Spore, okay? What happens after that in Voidling Bound is the entire point. It gives you something worth caring about, and then it sends you out into space to prove you deserve to keep it. This is a 9 out of 10 for me, and you can find the full written review at bonus-action.com. The link is in the description, and see you next time!